What advice would I like to give actors? Come to my classes. It's so cheesy, I'm sorry. The advice I'd like to give actors is don't give up. Now, having said that, I did give up. Not give up's not the right word. I chose to stop because I had my school in America. But I think that it is a really unusual vocation. It really is. And you just don't know when you're going to get work. And you just don't know how much work you're going to get at a certain time. But I have this belief in my heart that no matter what age you are, no matter what look you are, no matter what size you are, that your talent will eventually get you work. And I see that in Australia, and I see it around the world, but I see it mostly in Australia because I grew up in Melbourne. And I see people that were trying to get work when I was, and were working in little bits when I was, in the years I was working as an actor, that are much older now and get substantial work. So kudos to them that they've stuck it out. So the first thing for actors is, stick it out, be smart. Yeah, if you find a teacher who works and you respect and's got runs on the board, stick with them, and explore everything you can. Acting is an exploration. I think a lot of actors forget, Lauren, that acting is a performing art. So painting is a visual art. Performing, on whether it's stage or screen, is a performing art, and there's an element of creativity in it. So once you get the technique, once you make the choices that you make and you've been smart, once you've learnt how to dissect the scene and work the scene and how to make yourself more watchable on camera, because all of those things can be taught and are taught, and I teach them, in that moment, in that 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes that you're doing the scene, there has to be an element of creativity, an element of freedom going on in the performance, because life is not scripted. And as I sit here talking to you, I don't quite know what questions you're going to ask me, right? And so there's that element of surprise, there's that element of we don't know where we're going to go because we're not following a script that's written down Q&A in this interview. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I think actors forget that a lot. They think, no, I'm going to be smart, tick. I'm going to dissect it, tick. I'm going to make this choice and create this character, tick. And I think this is what's going on, tick. And then they do it, and all they're trying to do is do all those things. So like the little critic or the voice in their head is sitting on their shoulder going, did you do that, tick? 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 And they're not really active listening. And that's a big thing I'll be talking about tonight in tonight's class, is a lot of actors do not actively listen in an audition. And what is active listening? And your eyes show you if you're listening or not. The camera sees them clearly. And I say to actors, how do you know the difference between amateur theatre and professional theatre? And one of the obvious ways is amateur actors are waiting for their cue. Professional actors are really listening. I want to be affected by what you're going to say. And if you're not affected by what's being said, you're not active listening and you're not performing at the highest level. And another thing that I say to actors is, look at the little snippet they show at the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes of the 5 nominated people for Best Actor, Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. It is often them playing a surprise, or listening, or doing the 2 of those things, or showing us a nuance of human behaviour that we all do, which may be a scrunch up of the nose, could be anything, showing us our habit, the things that we do. And year after year, they are the little snippets that they show for the people who have been nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes, etc. at all the awards. And actors should see that and go, I've got to be doing that.